Welcome back, dear students and the viewers, for the second session of Assignment 3, Standard Waste Management. The previous session I told you that we will be dealing with the effects on the aquatic life and the terrestrial life. What is the terrestrial ones? Related to Earth, that's it. Related to Earth. It affects the food chain. The main thing is this affects the food chain. Plants are eaten by the animals as well as the human beings. Animals are being eaten by the human beings. Once we die, then the plants grow, taking our own energy, our own soil, because our flesh is decomposable. So the plants grow. So this affects the circulation of this natural life gets affected because of this waste, dumping of waste. There is something called cadmium. What is the cadmium? It is a silvery white element. It is a silvery white element mixed with water, especially in the artificial fertilizers. The artificial fertilizers. Once we use these artificial fertilizers, especially the insecticides and the pesticides, the plants cannot have the richness. Once we eat them, then we get affected. Also the animals. The plants themselves get affected because of this artificial fertilizer, and it has lot of this cadmium, the phosphorus and the nitrates are mixed with it, and it is the highly toxic chemical. Then aquatic life, what does that mean? Aquatic life in the sense, the things that are used to grow in the water, especially the plants and the fish faculty. This water pollution is the major cause, because our own sewage simply moves into that and gets sediments, and this aquatic life simply gets affected because of the toxic materials getting mixed with the water, and the purity of water is getting distorted. Then the oil spills in the sense, the leaking of oil. Once we carry barrels of oil in the sea through cargo, sometimes if there is a leak, that's all over. Because even we can check 2 bottles we can have, or 2 vessels we can have. One is purely of water and add some oil in the other one with water. You might see the oil mixed water container will be different and the water is something different, because you might notice this oil will be always floating. Once it floats, the sunshine cannot penetrate. So the aquatic life simply gets affected. Then the chlorine and the ammonia. They are the poisonous ones. They simply affect the aquatic life, because ammonia is a very dangerous one. It's a material and it pricks and makes people scratch. But what will this aquatic life do? Cannot be. So they lose their own, even sometimes the breeding capacity of them. But the term is called eutrophication. What is that eutrophication? It is a process by which body of water acquires a high concentration of nutrients, like especially the phosphates and the nitrates. In order to grow, we need these nutrients. We need the nutrients. For human beings, we need carbohydrate, protein, vitamin, fat, all these things that we need, right? Carbohydrate for energy, protein for growth, vitamin for maintenance, and fat for our own health. So all these things that we need, like that, these plants or the aquatic life need these nutrients too to grow, especially the phosphates and the nitrates. What are the causes for this? Drilling of oil. As we drill to find oil, get oil inside the sea, then there is a lot of chances that oil gets spilled. When oil gets spilled, I told you, it will be floating. Then the whole life gets affected. Then accidental and deliberate discharge of crude oil. Accidental is okay. That is, we cannot expect. It happens. But deliberate discharge, intentionally, deliberately, people are there to discharge certain things in order to spoil certain area. We have the sea borders. This area people, this country people should not cross the border. That's why the naval force is there, watching over. When they cross the border, they shoot. So this deliberate discharge of crude oil is one of the reasons for this aquatic life getting affected. Then discharge of methyl mercury. In Japan, there is a city called Minamita. Right? Minamita. This is also a disease. Minamita is also a disease. What does it mean? It is unwanted covering or filling up certain materials. Unwanted filling up or covering of materials in particular area. Here, they simply dump the waste materials. And that blocks, and the sea level simply gets risen up. And automatically the land level will come down, then it flashes off the land. So the land is being engulfed. So they become bays or gulfs. So this is how this causes are all about. What are the effects? Affect the gills of fish. What is the gills? That is the material, or that is the part of a fish that helps the fish to inhale. Once they lose their inhaling capacity, they grasp for air. So they come out. They get affected. Breathing capacity gets affected. Directly the marine life gets affected. Indirectly the human life. Because we eat those fish. And the water bred animals. All those things that we eat. So indirectly we get affected. Then this carbon dioxide simply affects the coral reef and free swimming algae. What is coral reef? It is a ridge of stony rocks in the sea made by of these corals. Corals in the sense hard stones, right? Then algae contain, alga is the singular, algae is the plural. So algae contains the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is very, very essential for the photosynthesis for the plants. The starch production. It needs. So once this algae is affected, because the oil is simply covering the top layer of the water in the sea or the ocean or the water body. So there is no possibility of the sun to penetrate. And when there is no sunshine, automatically the plant will be destroyed. Then dumping of plastics simply makes the whole thing nasty, because that is not decomposable. Right? They cannot decompose by the natural forces. So this dumping of plastics are the very, 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 very nasty effects that it makes. Then the DDT affects the tissues. Tissues in the sense it simply makes something grow. Right? That helps any enzyme to flourish. So all these things simply the effect and automatically the food chain. I told you the very first point that I told you, the food chain gets affected. What's the food chain gets affected? Everything. gets over. So this is the thing that I want to tell you in this session. The next session we will move on to the management. How to manage this waste. We will proceed with that. Till then, have a break. Thank you. Welcome back, dear students and viewers, for the session 3, assignment 3, Geography of 10th Standard, the waste management. So far we have been seeing in the previous sessions what are the wastes and what are the causes for the waste and what are the effects. Now the real thing, how we can control or manage this waste. What is this waste management all about? It is the collection or is the process of collection, transport, processing, recycling or disposal of waste materials. What is collection? We have to collect the waste materials first. Once we collect the waste materials, we will be thinking about what can be done with that kind of collection of materials. Then transport, we have to take them to the places where we can use. Then the processing, how to make use of them. So it has to be recycled, something like that. Then the recycling I told you, right? The recycling of disposal waste. So this is about the waste management. What are the methods of safe disposal of waste? Regarding solid, this is segregation. Segregation in the sense, divide the waste into different categories. Whether sometimes it could be degradable or non-biodegradable. Biodegradable or non-biodegradable, or gradable or non-gradable, something like that you can have. Even the municipalities you might have seen, some of the places they have kept some dustbins, the big ones, this is the degradable one, this is non-degradable one, so that they can simply dump where they are required. So that is segregation. Dumping in the sense what? Simply in the cities and towns you can see along the roadside, simply we fill that area with this dumping of materials. The e-waste we call electronic waste, the gadgets, right? It is very much now in the cities and towns. Then the composting. What is that composting? It is a process. It is the process or biological process in which microorganisms, it's a biological process in which the microorganisms like bacteria and fungi convert the degradable ones or organic waste, degradable organic waste into humus-like substances. So that is said to be called the composting. So it is a biological process actually. It's a biological process converting the microorganisms like bacteria and fungi into the degradable organic waste like humus-like substances. That is what is called composting. Then when we talk about the solid waste, there is some term called pyrolysis. There is a term called pyrolysis, which means it is a process to decompose solid waste chemically by heat in the oxygen reduced atmosphere. We are using it chemically by heat, but in an oxygen reduced atmosphere. Once there is an oxygen, there is a danger of getting fire, because oxygen we need for firing. Right? Without oxygen, we cannot fire anyway. So to decompose is the process, pyrolysis is the process to decompose solid waste chemically by heat in an oxygen reduced atmosphere. That is called pyrolysis. Then regarding the liquid waste, it is an effluent treatment before discharge. Effluent in the sense what? It is very much affecting. So before affecting certain things, we extract their energy as much as possible. Then dispose them. Regarding gas excellence, it is the use of scrubbers and electrostatic precipitators. So we have to use some apparatus in order to reduce the gases effect. So that is about that. Then there are 3 R's: reduce, recycle and reuse. So these are the 3 ways of managing the waste. Reducing. Electricity can be reduced. Once you do not need not switch on the fans or air coolers or any electronic gadgets. So once it is the need, felt need or dire need, make use of them. Otherwise, cut it off. In the place of using electricity, use solar energy. If you use solar energy free of cost, freely available in nature, make use of solar energy, then automatically the electricity is being reduced. Then regarding water, supposing if you see some taps are leaking, the public taps, mostly in our area you could see plenty of water is being wasted. Close that, repair the leaking taps, then we can save water so that the underground water level simply gets improved. Then we will not suffer with water. When this is a fossil fuel, this is the natural one, very easiest one that we can see. Some people are there, if we have these vehicles, a fossil fuel in the sense what? Something that is used and there is a phase called distortion or there is an exhaustion, we call it exhaustion. Sometimes it makes it exhausted. For an example, petrol, diesel, kerosene, all these things, coal, all these are being called fossil fuel. Some people are there, if you have the bike, just walkable distance will be there. They simply move on, right? So they waste their fossil fuel. Save that fossil fuel, go walking or cycling, the best exercise. We can have your body spick and span. We can have our body spick and span, right? Very healthy, hale and healthy. Right? So these are the things that we can reduce and we can make use of the waste in a better way. Then recycling is a collection of doorsteps in the commercial units. Go and collect some of them so that we can be recycling it. Then waste from the community dumps. People are there to simply dump materials, go and collect certain things. The municipality has to take the initiative on this. The government has to take the initiative on these things. Then from final disposal sites, which means everybody, whoever it is, they simply go and dump certain things without any control. Go to that place, collect what can be done for the next future, recycle and these other things. Then reuse, donating old computers, right? Old computers or old apparatus, lab apparatus to the government schools or the schools that need that kind of apparatus, donate them so that it can be reused. Then returning package covers, the customers are there taking these hard boxes, right, the cardboards, ask them to return the boxes so that we can recycle it. And furnish the offices or the school classrooms with the used materials. That's why we have one more period also in every week. We have this SUPW. What is SUPW? Socially useful productive work. Socially useful productive work. That's why we have the period in our school itself. Every school has this kind of a period in order to make the students aware of the waste materials can be reused. So these are things that we have to understand. Once we reduce the usage and recycle the waste materials and reuse the waste materials in different way, we can have the management of the waste. So this is about in this session and the chapter is over. I will be sending you the PDF. Go through the questions and especially concentrate on the questions that has appeared in the ICSE board and write them on in the exercise notebook. Only that question I need. But give reasons and distinguish are very essential. You are supposed to write this, distinguish and give reasons. Along with those, ICSE board questions. Okay, that's all the thing that I want to tell you in this session, in this chapter. Have a nice day. Thank you.